Hello everyone, welcome back to the 7th and final round of the SuperNationals. I'm WGM Sabina Foisor, very excited to bring you back the action of this competition, which has certainly been very intense. We could not have done this without your support being here, and of course we had some sponsorship for the stream from Precision Tune Auto Care, so thank you to that. The tournament, once the tournament arrives at the end, there's always moments that are exciting, but also maybe some tough ones for some of us who have competed, for some of us who are watching behind the scenes. Personally, from a commentator's perspective, I gotta say, I've been nervous for some of the players, same as probably those of you watching, whether you're a parent, a coach, a friend supporting some of the players competing, especially because it's a youth tournament. It can get at times sad and disappointing, but you gotta remember, it's all about the experience. It's all about the journey, not the destination. So as long as you feel you've had a good experience, even if it wasn't as good, if you learned something from it and you're ready to go on to the next event with even more knowledge, more experience, then you've done something good. So I gotta say, again, I'm very thankful to US Chess for giving me the opportunity to be here and call in the action with everyone. For the last time I'm saying this, but if you are watching, let me know where you're watching from. If you happen to be on site watching this, don't be shy. Stop by the stream, say hi, let me know how you have been doing. If you happen to be one of the kids who was watching, or if a parent, don't hesitate to let me know how things went. And hopefully I've been creating some instructive and educational content while here, and you have enjoyed it. You can always let US Chess know. You can always continue, you can start, if you haven't done so yet, following this channel as well as US Chess on all the social media accounts. That way, you'll stay notified for the different things that are going on, the different missions that they have to empower people to play chess. I'm very thankful for being here, very thankful to have seen all these pictures that different photographers on site have taken. I loved reading JJ's articles. If you haven't done so yet, I'm gonna send you the link to the Chess Life Online news page, and you can click here to the most recent ones from the SuperNationals. JJ is always doing an amazing job with his articles, and glad to have been able to contribute a little bit of my favorite positions from this tournament, and I'll do so certainly for the last round as well. What else I can say is, okay, some of you actually have asked about the giveaway. So I was told that the winner has been notified in person, and there will be announcements made on US Chess social media accounts. So stay tuned for those to find out who won. So if you weren't notified, you were not one of the winners, but still follow US Chess, because I'm sure there will be more giveaways coming up, and hopefully you will have the chance to win. Hi there, Spunk, welcome. Other than that, what else can I say? I think we should get into reviewing the standings as we're getting ready for the final round games to start, and maybe we will have time to actually go over some of the most intense last moves from some of the games. But first, let's get into the standings and see what we can expect for this last and final round. Should be able to have the view on the screen. We'll start with the K through 12 championship section. So in this section, Joseph Levine has, or Levine, I'm not sure, I think it's Levine, has won the super unexpected game against Brington Hardaway. He fought super hard, and in the end, Brington fell for a trap, lost a pawn in a knight-10 game, and lost the game. So Joseph has taken down the leader and the highest rated player of the section. That was an amazing result by him. And, you know, now we have 3 players with 5.5. And if we're looking at the pairings as well to kind of compare, the Eric Liu is playing against Joseph Levine, while Kent Slate, who is the other player with 5.5, was paired against Nico Chasen. So, for example, just to give you like a potential answer here, what may happen, if Nico manages to take down Kent, then if these 2 players end up drawing, then some of the other players with 5 points who win their game will be sharing first place. So we'll have a few co-champions. We have the top 6 boards with important results to be on the look for. So we should definitely, oh, sorry. And there's Anjanea, of course, who was paired down, but still with a very strong player, Bahengo, who has drawn 3 of his games and won the rest. So lots of players who can still potentially win or be co-champions. Of course, there's a possibility that one of these players, these 3 players, will win their game, in which case, not Nico, but Eric, Joseph, and Kent, if one of them wins, they might be the sole winners of the K through 12 championship. Going on through the K through 8, so the middle school championship, we had one player, Brian Lin, who's had an amazing tournament, was able to outplay his opponents game after game, despite some of the positions being quite equal. I feel like it's been his tournament, and now he still has to be careful in his final round against Nitesh. Nitesh is on 5.5, so if this game is decided, we'll have a sole winner. If Brian draws, then he is the sole champion, and quite of the 4 other players here with 5 points who can catch up with Nitesh and share second place. Brew was upset by Joseph indeed. Yes, he was. That was kind of a tough final round there. It was literally with seconds on the clock. Knight checks was very scary. Okay. Moving on to the K through 6 championship. So I'm looking at the main tournaments, the ones that I have live boards on. But of course, there were quite some other tournaments as well by rating categories. So those players have done well too, I'm sure. And hopefully they had a good experience being in such a strong and competitive tournament and seeing the other top players play. Hopefully it was an inspiration for them to continue working hard on their games and try to get better. So in this section, in K through 6, so this is an elementary championship, we had Tariq, who drew his previous round against Elliot, and he's the sole leader with 5.5. And then there are 3 players, Samuel Nemirov, Elliot Goodrich, and Maxwell Yang. Those 3 players could catch up. So this is going to be an important game to be on the look for sure. Those two boards are important. There are quite a lot of players with 4.5, but there's definitely going to be a champion from one of these three players, or maybe we'll have co-champions. We'll have to wait and see. Going on to the K5 championship, Sasha Milo-Schaefer has played incredible chess, got a little bit lucky, maybe some endgame that weren't expectedly necessarily winning, but he's done quite impressive, and he is playing against Lev Shangin, who's also had a great tournament. Sasha just won against Sophie, who was sharing first place at the time. They're sole leaders with 5 out of 5, but Sasha Milo has won his game, so now he has to hold on the fort, or maybe he's gonna win as well, and then he'll be with 7 out of 7. That would be impressive. We'll have to keep an eye on those boards for sure, the top two boards. There are quite a lot of people with 5 points in this section. Going on through to the K3 section, we have another player who is on 6 out of 6, and that's Lucas Lebaken. Lucas has also played very well in this section, and he is facing another very strong player, Jan Avery Singh. And I've seen Jan in quite a few competitions, always fighting for the top places, so that's going to be quite an intense match, as well as the two players could, with a win, will be the sole champions of the section. The rest of the players, quite a number of them, are with 5 points, and there's no way one of these other players can win the section because we have 5.5 and 6 points. So one of those players will be the champion. But I see quite a lot of girl names as well fighting for top places, so that always makes me happy, because I do want to see more girls competing in these tournaments and having the chance at winning their sections. Now, we did not have anyone from K1, but I did want to see what is going on in the K1 section. So we do have one player in K1 who is on 6 out of 6, and that's Mehmet Ilanli. And can you believe that? This kid, Mehmet, is 1864. He's in first grade, guys. First grade. Isn't that impressive? I believe it is. First grade, 1864, 6 out of 6. And he plays against Elvin Huang, who is 1239. So there's a big chance we might see a player definitely finishing off with 7 out of 7. But that remains to be seen. We won't be able to actually have access to that games, but I just wanted you guys to have the ability to check these standings out and make sure you're aware with what is going on. Okay. With that said, I think we can get into the games. Onto the games. Final round. I can't believe we've made it here. Let's catch up with the top boards and see what is going on. If you're watching, please interact with me in the chat, because at this point I need to be calm. And if I'm gonna talk a lot right now, it's going to be probably like super fast, like I'm doing right now. I don't think I'll be able to stop, and I'll just throw a bunch of things out at you, which I don't know what it is. But here we have a French. It's this a classical variation. We've seen some games like this in this tournament. I think we've seen one game or something. Queen d2 castle, long castle. So Eric is trying to take down Joseph, because if Eric takes down Joseph, then Eric can be a co-champion with some of the other players who can win. Because at this point, Joseph Levine has taken down the sole leader, and he is, well, actually board 2 matters too. If you guys remember when I showed you the standings, if it actually worked earlier today, Nico Chasen is playing against Kent Slate. So Kent, Joseph Levine, and Eric Liu, they are all with 5.5. So whoever wins this can win the competition. So it's really important to try to play for a win, but you got to be mindful, because how much are you going to risk? Are you willing to risk it all for the championship or not? Or are you going to give some chance to the opponent to, I don't know. The French is kind of a good approach in a way. It's kind of a safe-ish opening. So, you know, draw is okay. You can share the first place with a bunch of people, but it does matter what happens on board 2, because if board 2, if Kent Slate beats Nico Chasen, then Kent will be sole winner. So you have to be careful, actually, in this game not to get a much worse position. And catching up with the moves, looks like it's entering in a pretty equalish endgame. The only good thing about the position is that White's bishop is definitely much better than Black's, which is stuck behind those pawns. So, you know, perfect stream. I almost died making this stream back, so God help us that it's not gonna be any issue anymore, because at this point I can't take it. My heart cannot take it. I already had 2 coffees. I was gonna have a third one, but I don't think my heart can take another coffee at this point. Let's catch up with board 2, which is also very important. So Nico has had a tough loss in round 4 against what was his name? Anjanea, Rao Anjanea, who and then he won, and now he's trying to beat Ken Slate so that he can potentially be a co-champion in the K through 12 championship. So let's see what's going on here. Bishop d3, Queen b6, Knight f3, Queen c7, Castle, Bishop b7, Rook e1, and okay, this is, it's kind of interesting the way that both players have chosen. Maybe these are their main openings. 10 out of 10, fingers crossed. So in this position, like, I think there's still probably, like, this is gonna happen. Rook takes e3, maybe Knight f6, followed by Castle. White might go a4, Queen e2, Rook d1, or maybe just keep the Rook on the a file. Who knows what's gonna happen? We have ideas with e5, maybe h3, maybe Knight g5, maybe Queen h5, or maybe not h3, Knight g5, Queen h5, Rook h3. Let's go for the mate. Like, I have the feeling Nico's gonna go for all in a way, because, you know, it will be nice. Also, I think both Nico and I'm checking the standings really fast. Brewington from the same school. No. Wait, isn't Brewington in the same school as Nico? Because on this thing it shows a different thing. On this thing it shows a different thing. Sabina, you can do better than that. You can do better than that. On the standings it shows Hikaru Arrows. Of course. Like, now I'm in the vibe. I'm just drinking water, just so you guys know. And no, this is not. So by the way, just a funny thing for me to calm down for a second. In Romania, if you ever go to a Romanian family, you should know that you can never, ever in your entire life pick up a bottle that looks like a water bottle, okay? Never pick it and drink it like it was water. This is a very important news you need to know about Romania. Why? Because very likely you are not going to find water. You are not going to find water in that bottle. So it's probably some kind of alcoholic beverage. So I do not recommend doing that, but I promise I'm not. This is water. I'm not a typical Romanian. Okay, so Bishop e3. This is going to be an intense fight for trying to win for the team. Going on board 3. This Brewington is probably not feeling very well for the morning. Unexpected loss, and now he's tried some interesting approach. I've seen this h6 being played at some point. The idea is to avoid bishop g5. You don't want them to pin your knight, so you play it before white goes there. But of course, white can also put the bishop in f4 and then retreat it to g3, play e3, knight f3, bishop e2, castle, queen c2, and so on. Maybe b3. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, like, what do we have next? Bishop f4, e3. development. Okay, I love the bishop in f5 actually. Sometimes we have to be mindful when we take the bishop out in the various semi-Slav / QGD. You have to be careful not to go not to go bishop f5 because of this move. And if you're not careful where you place your queen, like for example, this would not be such an ideal placement because bam, the knight comes in with tempo, then you have to move it again, and you definitely don't want that. If you put it in c8, it might look nice temporarily, at least it's not in harm's way with the knight, but then when the rook will be placed on the c file, then there will be ideas with knight takes d5. So whenever you're going to choose to play this move, bishop f5, just make sure you have this move, queen b6, trade queens, and it's gonna be super helpful that you have the bishop in f5, because now after pawn takes, you're going to start pushing those pawn forward. You are still connected, the pawns are still connected, which is nice, and you're also restricting a bit white's development on the queen side. So, you know, like a3 or something, we just proceed with the development. Black is doing fine over here. So white seems that did not go for that, chose the trade of the bishop, which in a way is good for black for equalizing purposes, because that's black's bad bishop. And also white has potential attacking ideas on this diagonal, so by trading it, you're happy. But, I mean, I don't know. Castle, rook b1. Okay, so considering that the light square bishop is traded, ideas with f3, e4 are probably not really your cup of tea, because, or cup of cake, like I like to say, because it's well, the bishop also does not support d4, and you won't have an attack on the king side, so there's no point to follow this plan anymore. You got to go for the minority attack. So in order to go for a minority attack, you have to go b4. But if you go right now, maybe they'll capture your pawn, and then you go rook b1, and then maybe you'll end up just, you know, losing a pawn, not getting that back. So you cannot do it. That's why you go for rook b1 to support b4. And typically black in these types of positions, they go a5, and looks like Brew did play a5. Good one. Stop b4, try to stop white's play. And then as for black, like, I do like the placement of the knight in e6, because you do have ideas to bring a knight in e4, in e4, play, maybe chase this knight away, maybe push the f pawn. He has to find his way to a win if he still wants to somehow have a chance to win this competition. He had a tough loss in the morning, but I gotta say, Joseph Levine did really play a good game. And, you know, time scramble is always something that we cannot control as much. We can control earlier in the game, but as the game progresses and we keep making good moves, we keep improving, at some point we're literally like not able to do much. Okay, so Venkatesh is going for b5 and creating the weakness in c6, and I do want to see how Brew is going to proceed here, because technically in these types of positions, like, white gets this play quite easily, and I would typically see, like I said, ideas to bring a knight in e4 and push the pawn. But if you're not careful, you might lose c6, and you don't really want to lose c6, so you have to be mindful to what you're doing in this position. This is the current position, so we'll catch up with that. I feel I'm so behind, like literally the games have started an hour ago, and I'm just here catching up with the high school. And again, apologies, I don't know what was going on with my internet, but I'm thankful for now it's working. Thanks to JJ for staying with me through all those difficult moments, because nobody else would. And now we are catching up with everything. And also, of course, all your guys' patience for being here. Let me know where you're watching from, or feel free to interact with me so that I stop talking this loud, because I can feel myself. I don't know how to pace myself anymore. I need to stop. Bishop f6 is a nice approach here, but with this side of the board locked, it's actually quite helpful for white to proceed with some improvements, I think, on this side of the board. I would love to do something like this. Okay, it would have been even better if the pawn was in h4, like a Kia kind of setup, because you go knight h2, and then you can go f4, f5, try to kill that bishop. But here, maybe that's not going to happen, so we'll have to wait and see what will happen in the end. Like, it's not going to happen, but we'll have to see what will happen. My goodness. Could I have said it any better? Could I have? I'm so glad Brian's not here to correct my grammar. Bishop h3. Okay, so what I'm thinking for white is to go e4 now. So if you take, I'm thinking maybe knight takes looks nice. I was thinking pawn takes. Actually, pawn takes is not too bad because we're threatening e5 and then bringing in the knight. At some point, if you take, I take, and if you put a knight in f6 to attack there. No, I'm not pushing because I do not want to give you that outpost, but I could go rook e1. And then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna follow this up with something. Maybe move this knight away, go f4. So maybe in that situation, maybe... no. Well, maybe we can go knight d4 and maybe we can consider some sacrifices. Just actually, d4 looks like a much better location, f5. f4, f5, just to restrict that bishop as much as possible. Put pressure on e6. If you take, we take back. And we do have the rook on the file that opens up. The other rook comes on d1. The other knight comes to f3. Lots of ideas here for white to try to improve the position. Tanya, of course, is also trying to stay on top with the leaders. Tanya is also on 5 points. And so I guess both Tani and Nico are going to the same school, but I guess for some reason I thought Brewington was also going to that school, but he has a different number behind his team on the standings page. See, finally I actually made up that sentence till the end. Oh my god, am I offline? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Am I dropping frames again? No. I'm talking too fast. What is going on? This is bad. Are frames being dropped? I don't know. Let's hope not. If there are frames dropped, please do message me, guys, so that I know how badly this is. If it's just delayed for a little bit, I don't mind. But if it's too long, then obviously we have to figure something out. Oh, he's homeschooled now. Okay, I did not know that. I see. Okay, so he doesn't have any team then. I see, Shadow. I see. H1 Chess, thank you so much for the raid. How are we doing with the frames being dropped? Please do let me know in the chat. I need to make sure I stay on top of that. You got 5 out of 7 in the K3 section. Good, Lala. That's awesome. Way to go. Way to go. Very proud. Very proud to hear that. It's a pretty good result. Take this as a learning opportunity, educational opportunity. Try to understand where you went wrong. Go home, analyze all your games, and get ready even stronger for your next tournament. I hope you had a great experience here. Don't miss the Bughouse. I believe there's a Bughouse coming very soon. It's actually happening at some point today. Let's see. What time is it happening at? I'll let you guys know in just a second. I think it was 3:30. I think at 3:30 there was a Bughouse. Let me double check. No, at 3. At 3 it started. It started. So make sure you find the place where the grandmasters are playing, and if you want, you can join in. I'm back now. I lost some frames. Okay, so this is the best I can do. I don't know why I'm losing frames. It didn't happen at all before. So something's up. But fingers crossed, it's gonna stay. Thanks, H1. No, something came through. But I'm having some issues with the internet. So, or not with the internet, with the frame dropping. And I don't know how to fix it, but I do appreciate the raid. I hope you had a great stream. I hope you had a lot of interesting games that you looked at today with the players from the championship, and yeah, try my best to. I don't even know what else I can do. I brought a fan. to make sure my computer doesn't get overheated. And in case that was the case, and that's about it. So I just want to go over some of the games. I noticed there are some blunders in some of these games, and we definitely need to catch with them. If you have a specific game you want me to go through, please do let me know, or else we're just going to go in order again from the beginning and pray that this is not going to do anything bad to us. Okay, so on board one, basically the Eric against Joseph, they have a pretty equal position. Out of the French, f6 is played. That pawn may be traded off. Now I think it should be quite all right. I'll bring the mic closer just in case. Please let me know you hear me okay or something. You know, anything, any words of encouragement will make me feel better at this moment, because this is the worst nightmare. Okay. So here after knight d5, pawn takes, king f8, queen e1 is what Nico played, looks like. And after knight f6, queen takes b4, d6. Okay, so at least Nico has gotten another pawn. He's got 2 pawns right now. And now c4 is coming in, rook e1. And black played rook e8, which is marked as a mistake. They made quite a few moves since my... You can hear me fine? Okay. So in this position after knight f5, Nico may want to have some ideas with maybe f4 and then at some point taking. He takes advantage of the fact that his opponent did not castle yet. The king is in f8, rook is in h8. So hopefully things will go good for him or for Kent. Not trying to take anyone's side at this point. Ooh, whatever happened here? It was quite balanced when we left off. c6. Pawn takes c6. So I guess queen takes c6 was interesting because black would remain with a passed pawn and there would be pressure on c3. So that would be kind of a nice idea for him in this position. Queen e6. Rook a1. I feel like this would have been a nice approach for white. But what to do next? Because the knight is hanging. I don't believe you can sack it. Like, it doesn't make sense to sack the knight here, right? I mean, black should be doing quite well with the extra material. But I do like the check. King h7. Should we go knight a4? I'm just not like, maybe knight a2. Still looks like black should be doing quite well here. Maybe knight here, bishop here, or maybe bishop here first. The bishop restricts the knight is on the rim. It's not quite ideal to have this situation, I think, here. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? So this actually happened. Just why didn't give that check? So Brewington is actually doing quite well in this position. Should we go? Ah, that's not a good idea. We don't want to give up the bishop. This bishop, can we take actually? We can win a pawn, right? Bishop e3, pawn e3, knight takes g3. So Barrington could be on his way to win this, right? Yeah, bishop e3 looks good. Looks really good. I guess technically you can consider this, but then after that there's knight takes d2. It comes in with tempo. And okay, you have this in between check, but the king moves, and now you haven't really won anything. So I guess you just have to stick to that idea with bishop takes e3, and it's a free pawn. All right, how is Tani doing here? Tani looks like he's played e4, e5. Interesting. Wait, when did he go there? Ah, in this position. So I thought that the trade would happen here in this game, because if the trade happens, then maybe the bishop will be, you know, in some kind of danger there, but maybe not. Maybe it's not going to be in that big of a danger. e5. King g2. So this, black has the outpost and has a bishop on the diagonal, but white is up a pawn, and well, if they make sure this pawn is well protected, then ideas with f4, f5 might arise, and Tani could be on his way to try to win this game. So this is gonna be good for Tani. Going on to this game, like I did notice a bit earlier that it seemed Isaac was doing quite well in this Sicilian, because bishop e3, d5 was played, so we were around here. Then that got traded, and now d6 wasn't quite good enough. Now black is simply up a rook. Like, how did, like, why is white still playing? Like, what am I missing here? What is going on? What am I missing? So it's a rook down. He played d6. And he's simply down a rook. Does he not? Did he not realize it? Oh, it's so sad. I'm sorry, Kieran. He's down a rook. misplayed this bishop e3. You don't go bishop g5, bishop back to e3. It's not helpful. It's not very helpful. Suffernick William is doing okay in this position, I guess. Okay. Seems like a pretty well, playable position. So Anjanea is one of those players who, with a win, can score 6 points and could catch up potentially with the winners, depending what's happening on the first 2 boards. So he's definitely going to try his best to win this game, I'm sure. Queen f6. I actually like this move, putting the knight in the center. It's always nice when you have an outpost, when there's an isolated pawn, blockaded with a piece, the bishop is attacked, you can bring the other knight to f3 on slightly better location, rook c1, and so forth. This looks quite balanced, but we've seen blunders before. Ooh! Oh, Arush plays against Chloe, who I know and is very... Divina, thank you so much for the raid. I do appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. I've had a really tough day. Really tough last round. The internet's been working. I don't know what's been going on. It was dropping frames and stuff. So far it's going okay, but I do not know. So send me some love. I don't know what to do. I got rid of the Zoom. I got rid of everything. I unplugged every single thing from the house. And that's, for now, is going okay. I hope it stays this way. This is an important final round at the SuperNationals. And I would love for the stream to stay until the end. Thank you, guys. I do appreciate you. And thanks for following US Chess. This has been certainly a very, very intense tournament, and just being able to comment on it has been great. And the future of US chess is bright for sure. Some of these kids are so well familiar with openings. Their middle game plans for many of them are spot on, and so are their calculation skills in end games. So they're definitely, doing really well. Hopefully, in the future we'll see more of them. And yeah, I do appreciate all of you being here and staying with me despite this internet issues that I got no one to help me with other than moral support, which I do appreciate JJ for staying with me on the phone while I was trying to figure it out. I know he has quite a bit of other things to do, and if you do enjoy his writing, be sure to comment or let him know. You can check out his articles on Chess Life Online. You can check out his articles from this tournament, as well as other news articles that he writes for Chess Life Online, and all the tactics that you see, and pretty much a lot of the posts is probably 95% JJ. So he was very kind to take a bit of time from his duties at the SuperNationals and be a moral support. I was trying to figure these things out, and let's hope we have figured them out. I do not know, but it looks like this was a blunder. So what was Chloe trying to do? Was she thinking this? But like, this doesn't work because now I think white has some in between move. Maybe even this queen capture is coming in with check. So No, but I mean, I think we can go pretty much anywhere. Maybe there's a specific spot that's even better, but like, what about c3 to try to trade queens? Because will we? Oh no, we shouldn't trade queens. What am I talking about? Maybe queen g3 to try to take that pawn. So if they take this rook, we take this. Or wait, we take it with the bishop. No. Oops. What do we do here? Queen takes g7. Oh, this is fancy. Queen takes g7, and now basically the idea is that that rook is hanging, this knight is hanging, f6 is an option. Yeah, white is doing great. So this kind of captures in e4 do not seem to work. So I'm a bit surprised Chloe did go for that. I think in this position, there's probably quite a few options. This could be one of them, but she probably messed it up a bit earlier. Maybe she should have played h6 to force white to take. Or maybe she could play d5 directly. No. I'm not the most familiar with these ideas. Maybe now she could have taken. No, but... No, because of this. So what exactly is the idea? Does anyone know? After f4, what is black's best move in this position? Is it e5? No. Knight g4. I've tried everything. 97? It's not as bad than it's castle. Just castle. You don't care. Development, Sabina. Stop thinking fancy things. Just go for the development and you'll be fine. You'll be super fine. Yeah, okay. Just castle. Okay. So Chloe ended up going for queen c7, and now she probably missed queen g3. This is brilliant. This f6 is such a strong move. Because like maybe she was considering just takes, and I just feel like black can just castle and then have some ideas with rook g8. But if white plays f6 and now you take, we have some fancy ideas taking advantage. Maybe takes, and takes. And white is definitely taking advantage of black's king in the center. You won't be able to castle short. You won't be able to castle long. This rook comes to d1. The other knight comes in. That pawn is hanging. Lots of things are going on here that could be dangerous for black. So really, this move f6 found by Arush is really wonderful. If you take with the queen, I don't think we take, because probably you do have a couple of checks. But we probably do something, maybe something similar. Maybe we capture here first, takes. And now we take with the queen. Because now, once again, we're stopping black from castling short. Cannot castle long. These two pieces are hanging, so white is doing really good. This is a tough position for Chloe there. Oh, I haven't seen Adi in a long time. He used to comment on his games. He has a Romanian name, probably has Romanian background. This is kind of a nice way to try to attack, but probably queen e8. And now with white, we might try king h1, rook g1, or maybe f4. I would like f4. You know why I would like this idea? I'm thinking maybe we should bring in the knight. That could be a bit unpleasant. White also has this idea to try to go a4 and open the position from this side of the board. Or move the queen and bishop d1 and try to get that pawn. Okay, let's catch up with the middle school as well. So Brian had, I thought, a slightly more comfortable position out of the opening, but then he played a6, and this gave some chances. This gave white some chances and 2 extra pawns. Now, it's true, we are castled on the side of the board where we have the 2 extra pawns and all those 3 files are open, but is that really going to be an issue? It's hard to find the best moves here. Maybe rook b8. Try to go rook b4, double up on the b file. Maybe bring the queen to a5, take the knight, and figure out how to bring more pieces further. Here it's the pawn in a4 is hanging. What shall we do? What shall we do here? With white. Maybe queen b6? But this maybe helps black. Yeah. I wonder if, I don't know if we need to trade or not, but b3. Just b3. Prophylaxis. Defend. There's a threat. Just stop it. Defend it. And then figure out what your opponent's going to do next. It's not super clear what that's going to be. You know? It's definitely not clear what's going to happen now. Okay. This position looks quite equal. Another Sicilian. White definitely went for the attack. Jashid actually had a really nice game in the previous round. Actually last night, but he missed the chance to actually convert his attack. So in the end, he actually ended up drawing the game. I actually have put that that example, that miss, in the article. It's JJ has put it in the article, so you guys can catch up with what happened. Now here, he's being under attack, and this is not looking good. How are you going to set by 5? e5 is unpleasant too, but yeah, it's not looking good. This position is quite good for white, extra pawn. The rook in b1 is a bit passive, but if we manage to play some b4 and start pushing the pawns, creating a passed pawn, it's going to be a good thing for us. How do we feel about this position? White is up a pawn, but black's pawn in c3 is dangerous. It's really, really dangerous. There's some issues here. It seems like the move to go, you want to play that, so you open the queen, but it doesn't work. So, I mean, another idea that I'm seeing is a4, rook a3, but that's probably not working either because I don't know how we stop c2, rook d1. There's gonna be a thing. Not rook d1 directly, by the way, because queen takes and, or actually rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes. Oh no, my queen! Oh no, my queen! What? What? If you work all day and you work all night, the law's gonna get you if you don't work right. Thanks, Finver. I needed some positivity. It's been frustrating hour. I'm glad the stream is right now working. I hope it stays this way until the end of the day because this is a problem when you're not on site. There's no one to help you. So you can just try to work with what you get, with what you can. So I worked with my internet, I worked with my computer, I got rid of no more Zoom, and now we are here, and I think after this stream, first thing I'll do is I'm just gonna go on Uber Eats and I'm gonna order every single thing from the menu. Just gonna... That's stressed I am. When I'm stressed, I eat too much, which probably is not very wise, but I don't care. I don't care at this point. Or maybe I'm just gonna click them all and then close the app and never order it. Just, you'll get the notifications every 5 seconds. Sabina, you got an order. You put everything in the cart. Are you gonna order these? Nope. Nope. I was just tricking the system. Because I was hungry. Well, I wasn't actually hungry. I was grumpy. I was, and I decided to just do something silly. Oh, this game is over already. Rohan, I remember Rohan. I think I actually coached Rohan one time at the Pan American. Like maybe it was 2019 was the first time that I was a coach at the Pan American, I believe, in 2019, and I think Rohan and his sister, like both of them were playing, and I was a coach, so you're usually assigned some students, and Rohan was one, so he's still playing. He was pretty young then. He must have been like 8 or something. It's great to see him play and win. I mean, I didn't see his game, so let's check it out. I don't know if he remembers me, but I do remember the name. So it's great. It's great sometimes to actually put a face to the name, because typically, like, I cannot put a face to the name. It's just the name and no face. These kids are faceless to me, which is bad. I want to know how they look like. That's why I want them to tag, if they're watching the stream, to tag me in their pictures and just say, Sabina, you talked about my game. You said this thing and it was wrong. How dare you say that I didn't calculate this? I saw everything. It was you who projected my thoughts that were not right into stop projecting. Knight h1. Oh no, white, what did you do, Hanford? You cannot go knight h1 in this position. I'm not approving that move. I don't know what's the correct one, but maybe knight here. Oh no, that just loses f2. So what is the move that cannot be knight h1? It looks too passive. It looks too passive. Do you guys have any ideas? Maybe like just rook e2 or rook f1. It's not perfect, but at least it covers the pawn. Bishop here could work as well, because, if you end up taking, the pawn will capture, and maybe you'll get double pawns too, or at least mine will cover. They're not in an open file, but why play knight h1, and let's see how Rohan outplayed his opponent. Takes, knight there. Okay, did he go some... queen g4, trying to defend. Bam! Okay. No queen trade. Beautiful. Beautiful backwards move. Freeing up the f4 square so that the rook can come in. I love this idea. Very nicely found by Rohan. Okay. I don't know why I'm so happy. I guess I'm just happy because I know a face. I don't know how he looks like now, but I do know for sure that I have coached him that tournament. It was like a long tournament in Ecuador. Okay, so now he just won a bunch of pawns. He's up 4 pawns. His opponent ended up playing a few more moves and resigned. Good job. Good job, Rohan. Let's see. Very nice game, Finver. Okay, so Tariq has created the IQP. Isolated queen's pawn. He's up a pawn. It's double, but he's up a pawn, which is always nice to be up material, right? Because up material, you know what it means. Chances for a win. So, knight d5. Okay, knight b2. Trying to get the a4 pawn, but black says nope. Nope, you're not taking that back. Is a3 gonna be a move here? Or is it knight takes b5 that's gonna be played now? So, you know, utilizing the pin so you cannot recapture. And now if we take, I wish I could make this move. Maybe it works. If you take, yeah. But I don't think I'm actually winning the piece back, so maybe not. So if knight takes a4 in this position, sorry, knight takes b5, knight takes a4. What do we do with black? Ah, maybe queen, no, but queen c6? Move the queen somewhere because this bishop is pinned, so they won't be able to take your knight. So where do you guys think that we can move the queen? Do we like c6 or do we want somewhere else? c7, d6, but then like I feel that white wants to go to play knight c5, the blocking the rook and then threatening the knight and something of that kind, something of that nature. Maybe queen. That equalizes. I really wish knight takes d4 worked. Do you guys have any ideas what black can play in this position? Like where would black... Ah, I saw it. Queen d8. We've seen a lot of backwards moves today. So queen d8 has the idea to go queen g5 and bring the queen back on the other side of the board for the attack. So you think you are safe. Yeah, think again. It's not really happening like that. You're not really that safe. You're not really that safe. So knight b2. He took, so now we're anticipating knight takes b5. We'll be back at that game. All right, what's going on over here? Well, I'm liking black's position. Obviously, there's an issue here. There's an extra pawn. I think Elliot may have messed up there somewhere. Ethan trying to come back into the tournament, but not many chances in this endgame. This looks quite equal as well. Sasha against Lev. This is a big matchup because Sasha is the only player in the K through 5 section that that's on 6 out of 6. So if he wins this game, he's sole champion. If Lev wins this game, he's the sole champion. So this is like a real fight between two amazing players. So it looks like White was a bit overly aggressive, I guess you could say, by playing g4 in this position. And now, oh, I'm going in the wrong direction. I should be focusing here, I guess. And now, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Who wants to win more? What do you guys think? White or black in this game? Which one of the two do you guys think wants to win more this competition? Black? Why? Why do you think so? Is he your student? Let's go Lev. You're rooting for Lev. Okay, now I understand why you said that. Sure. Sure. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next. Ooh. What has happened here? It seemed like a decently equal position. How's White winning now? Knight c7? Bishop e7, we take. Bishop e7? Or we take? Rook c7? Rook c7. Okay, still we're not up anything. What about knight takes d4? Looks like knight takes d4 is it. The knight takes d4 in between move that blocks the exit of this knight, right? Everywhere here you cannot go because it's going to be captured by one of my pieces. If you attempt on e6 to develop the bishop, I believe we might just give you... Wait, what is the best approach? Because you might escape. And now you can't go there because I think there's going to be rook d1. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is Vivan seeing this? Do you guys think Vivan is gonna see this? Like this, just take the pawn. There's no way Vivan dropped the bishop like that, did he? Because like, you know, he could have, I guess he could have gone here. And after this, he could have done something. I don't know what, like move the bishop. Give up the exchange. Is Vivan going to see this move knight takes d4? Because this is cruising through to a win. We'll be back. This looks safe-ish. So does this for now. Lucas has some chances, but so does Ian. Looks like there's been some blunders here. No, it's just chess.com acting out. Okay. Jihan. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. G4. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Maybe he could have done it. Why didn't he go G4 here? It seems like G4, G5 is the right approach, no? Don't you guys think that it would be the right approach? Because, like, you know, like, just go for it. No? How is Black gonna react to that? There's no way to trade the queens. It's like, what you gonna do? A little off-topic question. Why is it so hard to make a living off playing pro chess? I don't know. I don't make a living from playing pro chess, so I don't think it's hard for those who make it. I don't know. Depends what you believe is pro chess. So if you can be more specific with pro chess, then I can try to answer it more, but I'm not sure. What is pro top 50 in the world? You don't think it's sustainable? I think top 50 in the world are doing pretty well. I think. Maybe it depends which country you're from and what deals you have, how nice you are as a person. You know, how many connections you've made during your lifetime as well, probably. That would be nice. I think being generally a nice person is usually the right approach. It doesn't matter what kind of field you're in. You should try to be a nice person. And then, not saying all good things go to people who are nice, but it's better to be nice than not be nice, right? So, oh, why it is so hard to get there? Well, you need to invest a lot of time and money to get to that level. I mean, think about it. You know, oftentimes, like, I see a lot of parents taking one class a month with a coach. Not a month, sorry, one class a week with a coach, 1 hour. And there are expectations that the kids will get to become grandmasters with 1 hour a week of instruction with a coach. I know there's a lot of information out there, and I know that if you know how to use it, like if you use it daily and you have a plan and you know what to do, you might get there. But I'm telling you, 1 hour a week is not enough to get better. So, like, you really need to put in the time. I know things have changed since I grew up, and, you know, I got to be a WGM when I was 18. kind of a big deal at the time. Okay, now it's probably not. There are kids who become grandmasters at 12, so what can I say, full-fledged ones. But like 1 hour a week is not gonna cut it. Like 1 hour a day is also not gonna cut it. You have to put somewhere in between 4 or 5 hours a day, I think. And even like top level players, they got there, but they still have to maintain their level. So they still put in a lot of hours to work. Yeah. 6 hours a day. Okay, that's a lot, because I know a lot of kids, especially in the United States, are focusing on other ways to improve too. Like, you know, they might be doing other sports, or they might be really good in school at math, science, you know, but you get a bit of guidance. But 1 hour a week, no matter how much I'm so passionate as a coach, I want my students to succeed. Like, if I could give them, you know, my knowledge in a class, I would, but it's not how it works. No matter how passionate you are to help your students, they have to put in the time and effort to get better, and 1 hour is not cutting it. You need to put a lot of time, and you have to make it your purpose. You probably have to get rid of a lot of external distractions, you know, like, you cannot be distracted by a lot of things to really get there. And we all have different things that we're interested in. I think the way the world is going these days, there's something new coming every day. There's a new resource, there's a new knowledge that you can acquire, and it's hard not to get distracted by all of those. And so, like, if you're not finding the timing, if you're not disciplining yourself enough, it's not possible. It is not possible for you to really get there. You have to really want it. I'm moving this camera in the wrong direction. Of course I am. I'm moving it in the wrong. This is where I wanted to move it to. Okay, I'm kind of centered, approximately. A lot of kids this generation focus a lot on Blitz too, rather than studying middle games and stuff. Like 13-year-old kids will beat me in Blitz. Yeah, I think, you know, over the board and online is so different. You advance in different fashion, and there are different things. You might be more relaxed when you play online, and sometimes there's a lot of playing on time. I mean, flagging, it's not a nice thing to do, in my opinion, sometimes, but I do it too. So I cannot say it's not a nice thing if we all do it. So, you know, like, yeah, and also adults and kids, I believe, have different mindsets on how they approach chess, depending on the level, how you learn and how you assimilate all the information. There needs to be a click that's being produced for you to actually utilize all the information that you have. So, you know, like, there's a lot of things going on for someone to really get to a certain level. So, like, but discipline and putting in the time is the most important one. And also financial resources. Like, how are you gonna get to that level if you have no financial resources? Because what do you need? You need a coach. You need, like, courses or something, books, right? To learn where you're gonna learn from. You cannot get everything from websites. You know, some of them you actually have to pay. So you need a coach to pay. You need resources. You need to go play tournaments. It's expensive to play a tournament these days. You know, like, hotel, food, good food, like flight, right? Entry fee. And if you're lucky, you get a prize. I mean, and it's not even gonna cover half your costs. So, you know, like, then there's a trade-off. What do you do? I personally have not worked as much on chess, and I've lost a lot of rating. You know, I kept wanting to play, and yeah, sure, I was supporting myself to go to tournaments, but if you're not training, it doesn't matter that you have the money to go to the tournaments, then you're gonna do badly, and then you're gonna feel badly about yourself, and you won't be improving. So many things are involved to actually reach that level. And also it depends the country you're from and how much support you're getting, government, special sponsorship, you know, all of these things to make it there. So it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot that you have to do. So looks like Milo has won his game. Congratulations are in order, because this is board this was board 1. Milo has just scored, he's in K5. He just scored. Wait, is that Milo? No. Whom am I looking at? Milos, so wait, we are in elementary. So this is board 3. This is board 3 in K3. This is board 3 in K3. So how many points did Milo score? He scored 6 points. He scored 6 points. So this is pretty good. Well, way to go, Milo. Way to go, Milo. And 6 points is pretty good. It's probably sharing second place. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, money, effort, discipline, time, and talent. Yeah, totally agree with you, Arab. An interview for partner said he was okay, there's a lot of stress level involved in tournaments, okay? I used to lose weight in tournaments, not anymore. When I was younger. This is a brilliant mate. So it looks like they had a king and pawn endgame. How did that even happen? Was there a blunder or something? No, black was winning in the get-go. So after this move, there's actually a draw. This is G3. I think white wasted 2. It's like, you never get rid of all your tempies. This is a big lesson. You don't always get, like, you don't get rid of all your tempies at once. You get rid of one at a time. So here you got 3 tempies you can use. 1, 2, 3. If you play h4, you got rid of 2. So now, okay, black made the same mistake. Black can play, I think, maybe there. Wait, which move wins here? C5 takes. Yeah, C5 probably. No, C5 doesn't win. Where's black's winning move here? Is it F6 or is it like going that way? It's going that way. Sorry. Now B5. Like that, deflecting the king and then B5. This is winning for black. Brian is losing? Okay, let's see. Brian did not have... Uh-oh. He was down a bunch of material here. Oh no. How did this happen? Down a rook, he's got 3 pawns. Maybe he can save it somehow. But it's gonna be difficult to save this position by black. That's tough. That is tough. Oscar is on his way to win this game. Very active bishops. White's so passive. Okay, this was winning by white for quite some time. Exchange up and weak king. Another rook endgame will be back too, just to kind of do a brief... Okay, we'll be back to that. I want to see the top boards now. This game is... Nico won! Wow! Look at that finish finish last position. Nico was played his knight d5 that we were looking at when my internet or, you know, frames started dropping. And it seemed that he was struggling to get sufficient, but maybe he did get sufficient takes here. Oh. No, this we take, right? Is g6 an option? Probably not. It weakens the king too much. What would be an option here for black? Maybe knight f4 instead of knight b4? No. Or bishop e1 anyways. No. Bishop f1 to cover that pawn. Where's a good book? How did Nico win? This is what I'm trying to figure out. So his opponent played knight b4. And f6 is creating a lot of weaknesses, and the rook in h8 is stuck. Oh. Oh, so beautiful. Look at this. So he's right now in this position. He's down a rook for 3 pawns. But it seems that, you know, it's a rook. A rook is a rook. But how do you protect it? Because you cannot go there. It's going to be a mate in 2. So you have to go king g8. And now it's still going to be a mate. I don't know where the mate is, but it is somewhere. Ah, queen f8, maybe? Yeah. In the worst case, you can take the knight. Wow. Rook takes e5 was such a beautiful idea. Way to go, Nico. Candice had a great win in the morning, though. Is Brewington gonna be able to win this? Did he go for bishop takes? Did he go for knight takes? Where was it? Wait. This is not what we looked at. He did not take this pawn. I'm surprised. 6 out of 7, indeed. He did not take this pawn. He just did that. He needs to find a way to win. He's definitely trying to win this. He has to try to share first place. Board 1 is very likely going to end in a draw, and then, you know, a bunch of them will share first place. Tanya's doing great. He was doing great earlier. He's up a pawn. Just needs to now maybe take advantage of this file. Make sure you don't drop that. I think you can just go knight here to make sure no rooks will create threats on the d file anymore, and then that will be weak too once this knight moves away. And if you take, what's the best approach? Because we can take both ways, which look nice. Maybe this way to try to bring in the king, but this looks nice too, and then this is a weakness. We can switch over to attack it. Because you can't protect it. Yeah, C is better. So Isaac was doing quite well in this game, and he's up, he was up like a bunch of material. Okay, now he's up a rook, so he won. Nice game. This is still under progress. Still in progress. Equal. Chloe blundered in this position the piece. Rook takes d6, so beautifully found by Arush. And now it's difficult. Is there a difference between queen e3 and queen f2? Probably still rook g5. I don't really see a difference. Do you guys see a difference here? Can we do this? Followed by this. So what's the difference between queen e3? Can we not do this? I think we still can, and then rook d7. But I mean, with the queen in f2, we were hitting f6, so when the queen was moving, we could take that pawn. So that would be pretty good for us. Okay, White has a lot of winning ideas. And if only we could do that, but even that wouldn't help us. This knight in h6 is doing a great job at keeping the position safe. So this... Oh, did Brew win? No, it's still in progress. Okay. So this game is very important for the standings. Brian has not been doing very well. I don't think those pawns will be very helpful too. It's hard to progress them now, because if you play f3, king g3, and he's gonna try to get it back. It's not gonna work. Okay, bishop pair. Bishop pair should be strong enough to try to outplay the opponent. This was extra exchange, okay, for white. I thought this was kind of equal. Harik is impressive, I gotta say. He's definitely very impressive. I mean, look at his games. He's outplaying every single opponent he plays against. He didn't really play much the previous game. Maybe they're friends or something, but... Okay, this is winning a piece. This is a draw. This is another very important game for the standings, because Sasha Milo Sheffer is on 6 out of 6 and Lev Shangin is on 5.5. So whichever one of them wins the whole thing. He found it. Vivan found this brilliant idea. Knight takes d4. He did think for quite some time against e5, bishop c6 check, and rook d1. I mean, this is just wow. This is deep thought. It's thought ahead of time or something, because bishop d6. Oh my, wait, did he miss a mate? Wasn't this just mate? What's the mate? Check, mate. Sorry. Here, I'm sorry. I know where the mate is. I know where the mate is. I dropped it. Mouse slip. Wait, he took that rook? Oh, okay, he's still winning. He's still winning. The other way, it was a nicer mate. I'm gonna put that line. I'll definitely put this in the article. I feel bad that Sophie lost. I wanted to see some more girls in the top. But I will. I think I'll be like, hey, Vivan, how did you miss this? I'm just kidding. Beautiful game. Very beautiful game. Played. Very well played. Okay, this was a draw. This is one of those positional games trying to put the pressure on the isolated pawn. Then we'll go b4 and extra pressure. So this is that king and pawn endgame that both players blunder. Oh my god, black is actually losing. Wait, black was winning. Oh my god, this is a sad story. Yeah, actually, I saw that it was winning by white, but black was winning. Insane. I do need to take a very short break, and fingers crossed nothing happens to the stream. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Like 5-10 minutes. Thanks for staying close. Why does this have to happen? I don't understand. I haven't done anything differently than I've done in the past. Like nothing. I've streamed a long time before. Nothing else is run into my background. Not even using the Zoom. I know, Steven. And it's not the internet. I've checked. It's like I can show you guys. It's 400 megabytes. Are we back? Now it seems that it's not freezing. It could just very well be. I will try my best to have this recorded and maybe we'll make something out of it. If it doesn't work. These guys, when we left off, they had an equal position. Eric is trying to win. If Eric wins, whichever one of them wins, in case one wins, will become the national champion because Nico has won his game. So Nico has taken down Ken Slate, which means that it's the two of them with 5.5, and whichever one of them wins can be a champion. If they draw, they will be met by quite a few other people. And Dale is back. It's good. This was a brilliant win by Nico. I really, really liked it. Looks like Brew has been able to win, which is nice for him. He's had a tough loss in the morning against Joseph Levine, totally like down to the last minutes. He has dropped material, dropped the pawn, and once he lost that pawn in a knight end game, then another pawn was lost, and then Joseph was able to convert that win, which was just really good, put him in first position. Oh, it looks like White kind of blundered here. Allowed the queen to infiltrate, and after queen g3, if we get to win every single one of those pawns, then we can trade pieces. We're doing quite well here with black. So it looks like after queen e3, his opponent resigned. d4 is falling too, and then everything else will. Nice finish for Brew. Was Tani able to win some of those pawns? Oh my goodness. Tani's always going for these beautiful tactics. I feel like he's always coming up with something new. I'm loving this. If you take Cheeky, and suddenly he takes everything. It's so beautiful. It's really nice. I could write a book about Tani's tactics, I think, from this tournament. There were quite a few. There were some he missed too, of course, but wait, how did he not end up winning more? Okay, still 3 pawns for the exchange is nice. Okay, his opponent tries to still hold the position, but it's difficult. I mean, look at the monster knight in f6. Now these pawns can just march and he can have a million pieces. Oh, wait, why did he play knight h5? Taking also probably the same thing in knight h5, but what about rook h5? I'm thinking if you take, I'll take with the pawn. You know why? The knight controls the g file, so you can't activate. The pawn will make it to h7 unless you go rook h8, and if you go rook h8, well, white can simply go king e5, f5, takes, king g6, and he's either going to support the e pawn or he's going to support the h pawn. It's one of the two, whichever one it will be. Anyways, but looks like knight h5 was played, and now Black played king f7, but I think it's kind of hard to come up with a move. Maybe rook h7. You're a bit stuck here with white because you do want to push those pawns forward, and the way you place your knight in h5 is difficult to improve. Okay, Tan is on his way to win that game. Isaac won this, we've already seen. This was equal. This was like quite equal last time we left off. So what happened? Black panicked? Black saw the bishop in b6 and panicked? Maybe this? Because, you know, typically these kind of interference ideas, when you put a bishop in front of 2 rooks, typically like you're attacking one of them, so if they don't take, the other one is hanging. But here you're not attacking anything, so I don't know why black thought that they had to give up, because now a7 is so weak and you got nothing, no more checks. That was it. Bam, queen trade, no more checks, and this falls. This literally falls, and then the rook comes in, queen comes in. John, I had a terrible day. The frames kept dropping. I don't know. I'm so thankful for everyone being here, still with me, despite that I restarted the stream like a million times. I hope things are going well for you there. Looking forward to seeing reports, more pictures. And I think after this stream, I will disappear from the world for a while, because I feel embarrassed for dropping so many. Like, it's never happened to me. Of course, it had to happen in the last round. Exactly when it's the most important to figure out what these kids are doing. Oh. How did we get into this endgame, which is, of course, winning by white? It wasn't winning earlier, was it? It was some rook endgame, equal rook endgame. No, this was... Rook endgames are always tricky. You always have to take in the time, but look at Anjanea. Anjanea does not have sufficient time. So you gotta choose which pawn you take, basically. Like, which one is more important? Typically, I would say this, but I think here probably this was more important. Because now you take, and probably rook e5. Not rook e5 because h5. We take first. Now the king cannot capture because if it takes, we take here, and g5 is like, okay, whatever. You're gonna lose. After, yeah, this should, king f7? King f7. But this... This draws... What is the winning move for black here? e5. F1. This is so cute. This is so cute. I'm always getting so happy when I find some brilliant idea. Because now we're starting rook h1, rook g1. So, like, you can't push. If you push, you lose. You can't take. Because this king and pawn, I'm much faster to take that, and you don't make it in time. Like, wow. So, okay, so you have to take with the rook, and now we can probably do this. And then we take. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be very good. But now when you take here, he had this move that probably black didn't think about. That's why Anjanea blundered there. This is a move you didn't think about. Like, you think, okay, I have to trade that, otherwise they take and they stay with the h pawn. Or maybe he thought after this, white would play here and then take, but I still think you have sufficient time to go, okay, here or there, take, and now you should have sufficient time to draw this somehow. Like, sorry, if, you know, the king can come and stop that pawn. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is tough. King f4 is such a good move. Yeah, now white is up a pawn, and we'll create those connected pass pawns, and there's not so much that you can do. Look at that, rook e5. Now this is being played, and oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is gonna be a tough loss. Last try, but white did not fall for it. White did not fall for it. Wow. That's a tough one. That's definitely, but it's difficult because rook endgames, like, it's a myth to believe that rook endgames, all rook endgames are a draw. No, that is not true. It couldn't be further from the truth. Like, it's the furthest from the truth. It's not. Please do not believe that all rook endgames are drawn. You always have to think what's more important. You gotta look for the pass pawns. You gotta look for which is more important. You gotta look for king activity, rook activity, king being cut off, who supports what. Connected pawns are also very unpleasant. Please, please be mindful. And ideally, if you have sufficient time, you should be able to make good decisions. Oh my goodness, this game is... Now we saw the ending. It's just the ending. It's nice. Yeah, Adi unfortunately lost this game. Nico won that. This is still in progress. What about here? Brian lost, yeah. he did lose. It's not good. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. I hope people enjoyed it. And again, I want to apologize for today's last game. Don't know what's going on. Praying that at least we finish this stream. I'm not even going to put it on break. Like, I'm waiting for some food because I told you I'm going to order a million foods once this is over, because that's the stress that I've been put through to get the stream for an hour or more, whatever. I'm gonna gain 10,000 pounds in one day, but it's okay. I'm not even gonna go on break. Like, it's gonna go until the end, until the end of time. We're not going. We're not going. John, if you're still here, John, what did you think about my 37 positions? Did I overdo it? If you're still here, I don't know if John, are you still here? I hope you brought enough food. No, it's just me, so yeah. I'm not in Florida, unfortunately, so, you know. They should have gotten me food. I think they should have shipped it. Shipping food for Sabina. Right, John left. I couldn't get his answer. Wait, is he still here or not? John, are you still here? Maybe he's popping in and out. He might still be. I have two questions for you, John. One, did I overdo it with the 37 positions? Two, did you like my comments for your emails? Those are the two things I want to know. Black is crashing here. Wasn't this endgame a draw too? Another rook endgame that's gone wrong? Do we have another endgame that's gone wrong? We do. Okay, the pawn was traded. Good. You gotta keep your rook active somewhere. Okay, that just helps white to go c4. This is winning for Dylan. Wasn't Vihan doing better in this game? No. Rohan, we already saw this game. Okay, this game is over. This game is close over. This was over. Where's the one we can look at still? Oh, Tariq has killed it. Congratulations to Tariq. The champion in K through 6 champion with 6.5 out of 7. Amazing result. Beautiful finish here. By the way, look at this. Rook takes e4. Don't you just love it when they sacrifice exchanges like that? And now basically black is down a rook, but he does not care. Takes back, and okay, after this move, h5 is nice. Deflection, you can't move the queen away from the 4th rank because you lose the rook. And once we do deflection again, but again, like, we're gonna move the queen because you gotta protect this and you gotta protect this. So you have no moves, and then it's just GG. Wow, Ethan played till the mate. Wow. So I guess Sasha's the champion. Is Sasha the champion? In K5? Sasha's on 6.5. Wait. So he drew against Lev, and there was one more player, Muley Vivan. Wait, didn't Vivan win? Do we have co-champions? Oh, co-champions in K5. Co-champions V1 and Sasha. Milo, congratulations to both. 6.5. That's impressive. And, okay, tough one for Lev, but I guess he's tried. Was there any chance they see a yellow move here? Oh, Sasha was actually winning. Wait, doesn't this win the pawn? Why did he play G6? He must have forgotten some. Maybe he touched the pawn instead of the knight by mistake. Because, that's a big miss. I mean, I don't know if there's a huge difference between being champion and co-champion. But, I mean, if I could win it by myself, I would rather. Sole winner. Not sharing. I don't know why he played G6. I think he probably touched the pawn instead of the knight. There's not much you can do here. Like, the bishop in A1 does nothing. You play F6, we go G6. Bring the king, we take. There's nothing. There is nothing that's gonna stop us from winning. And then we go back and... Okay, it's gonna take some time because you have to be careful how you push those pawns forward, not to allow the bishop to sack. But I think it should be good. Okay, now there's no... Yeah. Co-champions. Draw. Okay, one game remaining here. Okay, so we have board 8 remaining. Board 8. What's happening in this section? Oh, that's over. So Brian unfortunately lost. This looks totally winning for Oscar. White may have lost on time here. Oh no, they're still playing. This was totally winning. Dylan won that rook endgame. I mean, just wins the pawn and that's it. So this is the last game of this section. And these guys drew. Wow, we're gonna have a bunch of co-champions in the K through 12 championship. A bunch of them. I don't know how many. I have to count them. So, like, Joseph Levine, Eric Shanglu, Nico Chasin, Brington Hardaway, Tani won too. How did he win? What's the finish? How many pawns did he promote? None. His opponent resigned before he could. Oh, only one. Oh, check queen. Okay, I check rook. I guess he decided one was enough. I think Isaac caught up with them too. Let me check. Yeah, Isaac was on 5-2. Whew, so many people with 6 points. K through 12 was tough this year. I thought Brington was gonna get it all, but... And this was a nice finish by White. This was a win. This was a draw. I guess all games are over in this one. This is quite an impressive one. So this is the last game remaining. We're gonna do a quick overview at the end. I think the closing ceremony is actually going to be at approximately 6:30 p.m. But I'm hoping the standings will be posted before. You can definitely check out a lot of information about them on here. And also don't miss Chess Life Online. I'm sure there's going to be a Chess Life magazine article from the tournament as well. It's been a huge, very important event. And again, I gotta apologize for it. I don't know I don't know what was wrong with the internet today, or with Twitch or Streamlabs, or one of the two, because this has been something I've never experienced before. Okay, white is playing till mate, just to make sure his opponent doesn't play b2 here. Did not play b2. Maybe he will go king a1 so that he gets mated with king c2. And we'll have another nice, one of those nice mates here. So I see there are quite a lot of you in the chat. How many of you were watching from there, from Florida? How many of you were watching from there? How many of you were rooting for someone in particular from this tournament? Did they win? The people you wanted them to do well, did they do well? I'm actually checking to see if US Chess has announced the winner of the giveaway, but I do not see a post about it yet. I'm sure there's gonna be one at some point. I want to make an announcement, but I do not. I don't see the post yet. I'm sure they will post it. Or probably everyone is getting ready for the closing ceremony, making sure that the standings are in order, verifying everything. But what an incredible tournament this was. Definitely one of the most intense competitions that I've seen. Obviously, it was interesting to watch the players compete ever since day one, and we've seen some players who maybe normally would not play on the DGD boards, or even if they would, maybe their games wouldn't be broadcasted live. So it was really a pleasure, and I've learned so much myself from commenting these games. It was nice to interact with the chat as well, because you know, like, it's much harder to end up talking by yourself the whole time than if you have questions or requests or something like that. It's always nice to be able to interact with you, and I certainly hope you will continue to follow US Chess on the different social media accounts. I think I have a comment. Let's see. If not, I'll just post. Yeah. You can see the official website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube as well. US Chess has started posting quite a few YouTubes. There are currently 3 podcasts that are being they're going on. One of them is mine, which is Class in Session, where I interview various female players who are using chess as a means to inspire. Then there's Brian Tillis, who has one move at a time, and then DaVaun Croxton also has his own, where he wait, do I have a yeah, I have a comment for that too. Beyond the Board, where he interviews players who use chess as a means to inspire and promote their communities. His recent interview is with Laurel Aronian, who is going to Harvard next year. I believe she's been helping in the girls' club room for many years. She's been volunteering with her mom. They were also organizing this nice environment for girls. So you can also probably, like, go check them out. Let us just know if you're enjoying them, if there's something specific you want to see, and maybe they'll consider organizing it. These kind of tournaments cannot happen without the help of everyone. It's like, it's really a lot of people who come together to make sure that the tournaments are organized as well as possible, and that nobody really misses anything as much as they can. There's a group of organizers and volunteers and staff members of US Chess who are trying their best to make sure the events run smoothly. So I personally want to thank them. Also, I want to thank the DGT operators for for making sure that most of these, we didn't really have any DGT error issues in this entire tournament. Maybe once or twice some games showed up with a random result, but not quite, not quite as much, for sure. So yeah, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to see when these things are running smoothly, right? And yeah, being a part of it and being able to comment, it was my pleasure, really. I particularly want to thank JJ. Like, JJ had his job to to write the Chess Life Online article reports, and he was quite patient with me submitting my favorite moments as well and adding them to the articles. The latest one is really huge. I didn't even realize I added that many positions last night after the entire day stream. I cannot believe that I added that many positions. Apparently 37 positions. You will see if you read the yesterday's report of rounds 4, 5. Sorry, 3, 4, and 5. I don't know. I should be doing other things too, I guess, but I really wanted to make sure I brought in some good material. Let's see. I'm gonna check if the standings are there, and I'm really afraid to change the scene, because last time I changed the scene, it did not work very well. So I'm refreshing to see if these standings are showing up yet or not, because I do want to congratulate every single one of the players. So we have the standings for K5. K5 is the only one we have the standings for. K1. K3 is still not posted. K5 is posted. K6 is not posted. Well, we have to wait some more. Let's review these games some more until we're waiting, because probably there's still games in progress, I think. Probably, I'm assuming. I'm just checking here. Yeah, they're probably still games in progress, potentially. Okay, so let's review the games one more time. We're gonna stay longer here. I'm not going anywhere, because I feel really bad for this technical difficulty today. And again, I'm super appreciative for all of you. Super appreciative for staying with me and bearing with my stress. I've never been this stressed. Even when I play a chess game, I don't think I'm as stressed as I was today to be back on stream and hope that the frames wouldn't drop. Oh, something else that I wanted to mention again, and I didn't before I go back into this. If there's any mothers watching this, or if you're a son, or, you should be, you are maybe, if you still have your mom, hug her tight tonight or today. and don't forget to remind her how much she means to you. Okay, so in the K through 12, right, we had Eric Liu against Joseph Levine, who had a great win in the previous round against Brewington Hardaway. Couldn't remember his name. Against Brewington Hardaway, he won in the, like, literally last minutes due to time scramble blunder at the end. And the two of them were on 5.5. So whoever is gonna win this could potentially become sole champion. Now, the game was quite, I think it was quite theoretical for quite some time in this French. And then like around here, you have to try to figure out if you can improve the position further, right? So typically, like, you're going to try to do something with f5 if you can. At least that was something that I was thinking that white should do. But black didn't just sit and do nothing, right? Like, I thought f6 or a5, a4 could happen. And a5, a4 has happened. And then in this position, the players traded a lot of the pieces. Maybe this could have given white a bit of chance here. Rook b4. Didn't quite... Was there something? This was a nice backwards move to go knight e7. So I guess d4 wasn't wise, because that square can be utilized for another piece, but which piece? Because if you go back, the knight's not going to do that much. Would this have worked? Because if you do this, maybe now I can chase you away, and then I can go king b3. What do you guys think? Maybe, no. But what do we do against that? Maybe check and here and here. Wow. So if you're not careful with black, actually you can get in trouble. Maybe this was an interesting alternative for white to try to try to play for a win. How's black gonna get this pawn? Because that's what he wants, but if he cannot go knight f5, how is gonna... Because I don't think he can sack. I mean, this can be bad. This can be bad. What about d4? No, we take. It's just a freebie. So what is black gonna do against king c3? Is it like rook f8, rook f5? But no, I mean, rook f5, there's 97. I'm not seeing this. Rook c8, king b3. Does any of you have any idea of what we can do here with black to try to hold? I really thought knight c5 was a thing. Okay, let's say king f8. To avoid 97, maybe now this. But I mean, takes. Ah, takes, and if you take, they take. Okay, fine. Knight b8. If I take, again, you take, and take. So this is like, this is fine. So this. Ah, maybe now check. Ah. So you're keeping this move until you can actually check, then you go back. So that's why d4 has to be played. But as soon as d4 is played, then you can go knight b8 because that square cannot be utilized. Okay, so we need to come up with a move here for king f8. If we go back, it's probably also coming in with tempo. So what is it that we can do here with white in order to try to put more pressure? Does anyone have any idea? Check. It's doing nothing. Goodness, I can't. I guess there's not much. There's not much. He tried. I guess that's a mistake for some reason. Because it gives up the pawn, but somehow they agreed on a draw here. Or maybe they didn't even... No, they should have made these moves. Like, very likely they made these moves. But I'm surprised that Eric actually would accept a draw here. Like, if you're doing better and you can become sole champion, would you accept a draw? Maybe he wasn't sure how to progress because there's a pressure on this pawn, but what about rook a6? So, like, you know, you can give some check, rook a6, and you can improve this position. I mean, this is finally the moment where you got your chance to try to play for a win. I don't think you should accept a draw. I think you should keep playing. But okay, this is just my perspective, okay. So Nico's game was quite entertaining. So Obviously, Nico had to win. First of all, he would take down Kent Slate, who's had a really, really nice tournament. I feel for him. I also, of course, feel for Nico when he lost that game against Anjanea in round 3. Or was it 4? In round 4. But basically, like, he's played the Sicilian, and I'm not even sure how. Let's see how much time he spent for that move. So he has 1 minute 13. And he played here knight d5. So now he has 107. So he spent 6 minutes to play this move knight d5. And like knight a4 was the typical move to be played here. But he went knight d5. And to play this position, I mean, we saw knight e7 wasn't working, right? Because of queen e1 and we're also attacking b4. And the knight is hard for black to deal with situations here. But like, the way the game went, I don't know. I guess he doesn't have that much to lose. He either wins or he doesn't. Like, that's basically what's happening here. So it's I guess the ball is in black's court. Black has to figure out how they're going to set up the position for the king to be safe. It's not that easy to set it up. And I guess Kent was a bit worried. Maybe he even offered a draw at some point, who knows. But, okay, there's no point to offer a draw because Nico wouldn't not accept. So he either wins or he goes home empty-handed. So he had to do his best here. And now, knight d4. Everything seemed fine until knight b4 was played. But actually, we have not figured out what was the correct move for black in this position, not to get into a worse position here. Because I was trying to move the knight somewhere else, but maybe knight f6. That way we're blocking a bit the diagonal so that whenever we move this knight, g7 doesn't fall, and we can focus on something here, right? And then g5, huge miss here huge mistake, allowing rook e5. This finish was just beautiful. Like, we gotta give it credit. It was really, really beautiful. Brew 1. Okay. Let's see if the standings are ready so I can share them with you guys. We have the K through 12 standings. We can have K through 8. K through 6 is still in progress. Okay, I believe I can share this with you. Okay, so let's share that with you. Now, I'm freaking out that if I change the scene, it's gonna be bad, but I'm gonna try. And fingers crossed. We changed it. It's there. Okay, so I want to congratulate the 7 co-champions in the K through 12 championship. This has been definitely super impressive. Very tough fight for everyone. Some of them drew 2, others lost 1, but they didn't stop until the end. They really fought their way through. Some of the other players that we've seen online have also done really well. So, like, congratulations to Joseph Levine. I think he deserves it. Like, and it looks like it's his final year also. He's in 12th grade, so being co-champion is definitely quite impressive. Wait, what? Yeah, 7 cars. We gotta give them 7 cars. Eric Liu, Brewington Hardaway. Brewington came back today with an impressive win. Isaac Wang, also after a loss in round 2, he came back and won the rest of the games. Nico Chasen also came back after a tough loss. Tani finishes with 6 points, and so does William Safranek. So 7 players with 6 points in the K through 12 championship. Congratulations, you all. You deserve it, enjoy it, and take your lessons. I know it's been tough for some of you. Maybe you wanted to just finish in first, lonely soul. But listen, it's a work in progress. Chess is a work in progress, so keep your hard work, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again at some other tournament. Maybe I'm gonna be paired against you, and then it's gonna be very tough for me. All right, I'm gonna look at the other section too, though. We did not have any games that were broadcasted live. So I wanted, let's see who won in this one. So there was a player in the K through 12 under 1900. Looks like Mandel, Cholek, Simon, and Noah. That's a really long name to have. 6.5, and he's 1569. That's quite impressive. Casual, how are you doing? I've had the worst day today. That's why you see like this different background and everything. I've tried very hard. I guess I still didn't fix this. If this doesn't fall, it would be like ideal if this thing doesn't fall. I've had so many issues with the stream. I've restreamed and back on and off so many times. I couldn't keep track anymore. It's bad. So 6.5, 6 points for Ishan from Texas, and 6 points for Arush Gupta. Quite a lot of players actually here. How many did they have? 97 players in the K through 12 under 1900. Under 1600, we had 2 players with 6.5. Nice, very nice. Okay, and then 4 players with 6 points. Congratulations to you. They had sections for pretty much every rating. 1132. Wow, Samuel, with 843. Finished second. Considering there are a lot of players over 1,000. Hey, that's pretty good. Then whom do we have? Rashid, Zakir, Sidek. Shared first place with Cabo Gabriel from Florida. Will you be announcing the award ceremony? I will not be. I'm not there, but yeah, the award ceremony is at 6:30. It's in the probably playing area, but let me double check exactly. It's in the whole WA2. The for the middle school and high school elementary division is in the whole WA4. No, sorry. Yeah, I guess they're in different holes based on how they played potentially. So K1 section already happened. Which K section? Here's the link, by the way, with the schedule, so you can check exactly whichever ceremony you are looking for. I don't know which. What if we're out of town? Any way to stream it? I'm not there. I'm not there on location, so they're not streaming. I don't think they're streaming. I mean, I was just doing the commentary for the tournament for the games. She on 5 out of 7? Which category was she in, Ursula? We can look at the standings and see which place she was. Okay, K through 8. This was a very tough tournament. Brian Lin was doing so great. He was on 6 out of 6, leading the tournament. Unfortunately for him, suffered a tough defeat against Nitesh Cherukuri. And Nitesh won the tournament solely. Nitesh is from Maryland, 6.5 points. That was quite impressive too, to be able to keep your nerves, focus all this tournament, and then in the end take the leader, who's had an amazing tournament. Really, the games that I've seen by Brian were really like, I was very impressed. So congratulations to Nitesh. We have 3 players sharing second place. Brian Lin, Oscar Williams, and Albert Fang from Texas. And then quite a number of players with 5.5. It's pretty nice. Congratulations, you all. This group had 166 players. K-6 championship. Tariq. Tariq has been impressive. Like I was actually surprised he drew the previous round, but yeah, he won today in a brilliant fashion. 6.5 out of 8. Congratulations, Tariq. Second place goes to Samuel Nemirov. Samuel had lost to someone in round 2, but looks like he came back with wins to finish off in second place, and that's a pretty good result considering a bunch of the other players who are below him are much higher rated. So considering his rating, this is a pretty good result. And on 3rd, 4th, and 5th place, ooh, we have Stella too. Oh, I'm so happy. Pranav Santosh, Ethan Guo, and Stella Shin. This is why am I so happy for Stella? Well, as I told you guys, I had the chance to work with her a little bit at a World Cadets Championship last year. I was one of the coaches, US coaches, and just going through her, thinking process and everything was great. She's definitely a great talent, and hopefully she continues improving. So 3 players with 5.5. And then there are quite a few others that did well here. We can see based on their rating and progress. Very nice. Going on to K-5 championship. 2 co-champions. I thought there might just be one, but listen, we saw Vivan win a beautiful game in the final round. So Vivan is actually from Florida. Maybe he's from Orlando, so he's home. It's in his home territory. Both Sasha Milo Sheffer and Vivan Prakash Muley have won the tournament, sharing co-champions in the K-5 championship. Lev Shangin drew in the final round against Sasha. He actually got pretty lucky with that draw, as Sasha missed, maybe touched the wrong piece. And okay, finishing 3rd is sharing 3rd with 2 other people is quite impressive as well. Although maybe he was the highest rated, so maybe he's not as happy that he's 2nd. But okay, it's still pretty good. Top 3 is always good. Yang Kui and Akash Jani. So 2 Florida. Well, quite a lot of Florida people here I see. That's pretty nice to see. Can you check who won the K8 under 900? Sure, K8 under 900. Emmy Gaskins won with 6.5. Were you expecting that? Were you expecting someone else? What about team? I'm getting to the teams in a second. The team is I need to figure out how they put the team. I'm just finishing up with the championship. I'll get to the team in just one moment. I got K3 and K1, and then I'm getting there. So K3 we had Lucas Lebakan, 7 out of 7. Brilliant performance by Lucas. Brilliant performance, congratulations. And he wins 1 point ahead of the field. The next players are Jihan Samuel Xu, Abigail Zhu, Samanyo Aluri, and Arav Karthik, and Milo Su. All of these players share 2nd place. Jan has played really well, but unfortunately lost in the final round against Joseph. So, he finished only on 7th place, but definitely some great result there for them. And lastly, K1, we did not have any live boards from here, but we had another 100% score by Mehmet Ilani. I think he was the highest rated in the section. It's impressive. Like, Mehmet is in 1st grade and he's already 1864. That's just brilliant. So congratulations to Mehmet for winning this. We had Advait Iyer on 2nd place, and 4 players: Peng Justin, Zhu Francis, Holness Hudson, Ryan Lay, did I say 4 or 5? And Dalton Gorkshika with 6 points. Pretty impressive. Okay, team. Let's look at team standings. You guys want to see team. Oh my goodness, these teams are scary. I don't even know how to read this. Okay, so in the championship section, top 3 teams. How many teams should I read? Like top 6? You guys can see top 6 or 7. Looks like Columbia Grammar. Columbia Grammar always wins pretty much everything, I think. Or a lot of these competitions, Columbia Grammar gets a lot of prizes. So Tani, Nico, O. James, and Megan were the highest scorers in the Columbia Grammar. Then Thomas Jefferson, Vinud, Kent Slate, Wright, Douglas. Or they have 5 players though. These guys only have 4. I don't know how it works. These guys have 6. I'm not sure what is. Oh, I think he put all of the people that were playing in the tournament or the top rated or something like that. Which section did you want? Top 4 highest scores. Yeah, but so they just named them all, but it's just top 4, right? They put all the names, but it's just the top 4. I think that's how it works. Nice. Okay. Which team did you have, Arab? K8 under 900. Okay, got it. Which team are you looking for? Looks like East Side Community High School in New York has won first place. Another New York. Oh my god, New York is doing quite good. Look at that. 3 teams from New York. Congratulations, everyone. Ooh, looks like we have a Michigan. Is this a Michigan? Michigan team? I'm pretty sure MI is Michigan. Looks like you got a team there. 4th place in K9. And what else did we have? We had the friends and family. Did they post anything here? No. They did not post the results for grades for puzzles. I think they gave the awards. You won! Oh, you won! Wow! Congratulations! Congratulations, Kaibil. That's impressive. How, like, are you a coach or something, or a parent? Parent, coach, student? One of those people from that school? Student, nice. Did you play in this competition too? Oh, awesome. Awesome. So I guess you're part of the team, one of those players. Feel free to share if you want, but that's amazing. Well, hopefully you're going to get your prize. Well, I think it's a trophy or something. It's a team trophy. Maybe a medal too. I'm not sure. I'm not there, so I haven't seen pictures or anything. I don't know what is happening this year. I haven't seen anything. I'm the last one to know. Sad. Okay, that kind of enthusiasm. I didn't know if I'm Michigan Eagle. I don't know. I'm just asking. Are you saying a parent wouldn't be proud of that result? Come on. Come on. Let's say K through 8 championship. Hunter College has won. Okay. All right. So Hunter, then Success Academy. Success usually does also quite well in these tournaments. Columbia Grammar finished 3rd in K through 8, and Dalton also pretty famous, and Speyer also pretty famous school in in New York. Lots of New York schools in these categories. I think they have quite well-developed programs. It would be nice to see more across the country. Looks like Speyer won in the K through 6 championship. Very nice. Congratulations to them. Dalton finished second, and Anderson School. I don't think I've heard of Anderson School before. Well, I just haven't seen it, but look at that. Another Success Academy. This is lots of New York. Like, this is just New York all over. Wow. This K through 6 going on through K through 5. New York, Florida. Ooh, Gainesville, Florida finished second. Success Academy, New York. Yeah, Florida. I don't know how Florida wind up on second place because look, New York. How many times can I say New York really fast? Oh, another Florida. New York. K3. Ooh, Arizona in the middle of New York in this section, K through 3. New Vistas Center for Education, Chandler, Arizona. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of you guys. Success Academy. Speyer wins this section as well. And in K1, lastly, whom do we have? Trinity School, New York. Oak Hall, Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville seems like it's a pretty big community. Anyways, what else can I show you guys? This kind of concludes the review of the standings. If there's anything else that I did not show, that or any question that you have that I have not given you yet, please do let me know before I sign off. Once again, I gotta say thank you to Precision Tune Auto Care, David and Maureen, for supporting US Chess, supporting the stream. It was an honor to comment on every single one of the rounds for the first time ever in the SuperNationals, and I hope it continues. I hope we'll see more streams on US Chess. I hope no issues are happening. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it, but I'm gonna figure it out. Maybe my computer just overheated for being, worked that much, but I mean, it's never happened before. I streamed before 12 hours non-stop and nothing happened, so we'll have to figure it out. It was a pleasure being here. I want to thank everyone who's made this event possible: sponsors, guests, staff members, volunteers, everyone who's involved to make sure the tournament is well organized, as well as thank you to the players, thank you to the kids for trying to make this chill tournament, exciting tournament for me to see. Thank you to the parents for taking your kids here. Hopefully you had a good time, you enjoyed some of the commentary. Hope you enjoyed the grandmasters. I hope your kids had the chance to challenge some of them in Blitz, play Simuls against them, or simply join in one of their lectures. Don't forget, if you want to get involved with US Chess, you can always get a lot of information simply by going on the website. I want to send you to all of those links once again. YouTube is a great place to find extra videos. I know the marketing and communications manager at US Chess, Brian Till, has been thinking of a way to create more content, more educational content for everyone to enjoy. So you're going to see more of that. There's some great podcasts you can follow on US Chess. And yeah, certainly if you enjoy my commentary, you can always follow my Twitch channel as well. Just simply search for my name and you'll find me. And yeah, I hope you have a safe return home. If you're watching you're not at the tournament, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Happy Mother's Day once again to all the moms out there. And I cannot wait to see you on the next stream or for commentary for another tournament. All right, this was WGM Sabina Foisor signing off now.